Welcome guys, so this is a first look at Murders at Karlov Manor. I'm going to play Sealed Best of 1 today. I'm going to have I'll have a quick look at the sort of deck suggestions here. So blue-white we have Detectives, which is fast mid-range. Blue-black is Clues Control. So clues, of course, are giving you extra cards. Red-black is Suspect Aggro. So creatures with Menace. Suspect creatures have Menace and can't block. Red-green is Big Disguise. So we've got some keywords going on here. I've not run into Disguise before. Oh, so Disguise is a face-down card. Interesting. So and it looks like, yeah, it's a big creature deck, hence Big Disguise. Green-white is Go White Disguise. White-black is Pint-Size Disguise. Which, so this rewards playing creatures with power 2 or less, and then boosting them. Okay. Blue-red is Artifact Sacrifice. So you get your clue tokens and you sacrifice them. And you can make Thopters. Okay. Black-green is Grave Break, which uses the Collect Evidence mechanic. And it's a graveyard strategy. You get value when a creature card leaves your graveyard. Okay. We have Red-White Battalion. So you get a bonus whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures. And we have Blue-Green Collect Evidence. So it looks like it says rapidly fill up your graveyard. So it sounds like a self-mill deck. Collect Evidence to power up your spells. Okay. So Collect Evidence sounds like the sounds like Undergrowth maybe from Guilds of Ravnica. It's it's a kind of boost you get just by having stuff in your graveyard. So let's get started. Okay, we have 10 rares to look at here. Show and Tell. So 3 mana, each player may put an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land card from their hand onto the battlefield. So this was a popular card of yesteryear. That let you put your ridiculous Eldrazi creature into play very easily. And other ridiculous things. So, see, I'm just looking for something really good we've got here. We do have Niv Mizzet Guild Pact. We could show and tell him on turn 3, which could be interesting. It says he's a 6/6 flying hexproof from multicolored. Whenever Niv Mizzet Guild Pact deals combat damage to a player, it deals X damage to any target. Target player draws X cards and you gain X life, where X is the number of different color pairs among permanents you control that are exactly 2 colors. Okay. So you want things that are exactly 2 colors, and then you get bonuses. Well, that would be cool. That would definitely be pretty good to play on turn 3 with Show and Tell. Hexproof from multicolored. It's going to be a kind of a guildy. It's like guild. It's Ravnica, I think. Is it? Or is it? Because I thought it was the other setting, but maybe this is Ravnica. It would seem to be with talking about guilds and what have you. I could be wrong. Case, we're going to... Yeah, right, so next one. Case of the Locked Hothouse. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. So this is... Right, so this is an enchantment. It's not a... it looked like it might be a Saga enchantment, but it's definitely not. Something different. For 4 mana, you can play an additional land on each of your turns. To solve, you control 7 or more lands. I see, so if unsolved, solve at the beginning of your end step. You solve it at the end of the turn, right? So once solved, you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play lands and cast creature and enchantment spells from the top of your library. Oh, well, so that is pretty incredible. You can play lands, cast creature, and enchantment spells from the top of your library. So that does seem very, very good late game card advantage and ramp. I definitely want to try playing that. Relive the Past. 7 mana sorcery. Return up to 1 target artifact card, up to 1 target land card, and up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. They are 5/5 elemental creatures in addition to their other types. How many was that? Artifact, land, enchantment. So you get 3 5/5 creatures. If you can field an artifact card, a land card, and a non-aura enchantment card. So that's 15/15 worth of stats on the battlefield. It is 7 mana. So I don't know how good that is. If it's going to be, it depends. Is it going to be easy to put artifact, land, and enchantment into the graveyard? We just might find, oh, we've got no artifacts that are any good. We'll see. We'll see if that's going to be worthwhile. Could be a good card. Okay, so this you get to surveil 1 when these things come into play. These and that's a. You're telling me that's a rare land? I guess surveil is quite good on a tap land. Another source of surveil is not bad. We get the red-blue one as well. We get actually the red-white one as well. I'm happy to see 3 rare lands. I collect the rare lands, so that's a good result for my collection. Outrageous Robbery. Okay, instant speed. Interesting. So double black and X. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of their library face down. You may look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast it. Okay, I love that. That does seem good. That seems like basically draw X cards. 2 black, well, where it's 2 black and X. You're getting them from your opponent's library. You can play them at any time. That's got to be outrageously good, I think. And you can play it at instant speed, so end of opponent's turn. That seems great, I would say. And you don't even need the right mana. Fantastic. Yeah, we looked at Niv Mizzet. Interesting card. We need, but for this to work, we now need permanents that have exactly 2 colors. Keep an eye out for those, because that will power up our Niv Mizzet. I wonder what color these elemental creatures are in Relive the Past. Maybe they are green-white. It does not specify. They might be colorless. We have Leyline of the Guild Pact. There's a lot of colours on that card. So, in fact, all 5 colours. It's an enchantment. If Leyline of the Guild Pact is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Ooh, I like that. Especially in a 40-card deck, you've got more chance of drawing it. Each non-land permanent you control is all colours. Ah, so that probably doesn't work with Niv Mizzet, who needs... he needs permanents that are exactly 2 colours, so it just doesn't work with... This actually ruins Niv Mizzet's ability. So it's probably one or the other we play. Lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types. So it kind of almost does nothing. You need other things that benefit from having multicolored permanents for this to actually be meaningful. So I'm thinking of domain. Every land you just get instant domain 5 with this because you're all your lands are every basic land type. I don't know if we have the domain keyword in this set. We'll see. Forensic Gadgeteer. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, investigate. Okay, we have recurring card draw. This seems like a potential bomb. If we can get, if we do have any worthwhile artifacts we can cast. Activated abilities of artifacts you control cost 1 less to activate. Can't reduce it to less than 1. So all of your clues are only costing 1 to sacrifice. That's pretty good. What's the best thing here? I think I like Outrageous Robbery possibly the most, and I'm quite a fan of Case of the Locked Hothouse. Those two might be just consistent sort of game winners. Not sure about... Yeah, Niv Mizzet, bit of a combo card with Show and Tell, bit hard to cast. Relive the Past, very expensive, needs conditions for it to be really good. Not sure about that. Not sure. Need Leyline of the Guild Pact, yeah. Basically at the moment doesn't do anything, just ruins Niv Mizzet, so useless at the moment. Forensic Gadgeteer is good. Just decent 3-drop. Potentially a bomb that's letting you draw extra from your letting you make more clue tokens, and the clue tokens are cheap to activate. So that's yeah, those 3 probably. Forensic Gadgeteer, Case of the Locked House, and Outrageous Robbery all seem really good. The Outrageous Robbery is double black though, so that might be tricky if we're going sort of green and blue, our main colours. Now this is I'm quite struck by the fact there are a grand total of 6 white cards. I guess we're not going to be playing white because that's kind of silly. We'll do a little count here. Okay, there are lots of multicolored cards. That's what's going on. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. Right. Half the cards in the set are going to be multicolored. All right. So I'm going to sift through the cards I've got here. I use the BREAD acronym, the BREAD strategy. So you've got bombs, removal, evasion, and then you've got aggro, dross or filler. I won't worry about aggro and dross. I'm interested in bombs, removal, evasion. So that's anything that's kind of cheap mana fixing, cheap ramp is pretty good. Case of the Pilfered Proof. Okay, detective card, so you need detectives for this to be good. To solve, control 3 or more detectives. Then you scroll down. One or more tokens will be created under control. Those tokens plus a clue token are created instead. Okay, that sounds great for a detective deck. So the keywords are going to be pretty crucial. I'll do a search for detective. Okay, we've got some blue detectives. That Forensic Gadgeteer. We have our eye on this guy, and he's a detective, or she maybe. Burden of proof. Okay. That's interesting. Enhances detectives or makes things into a 1/1. That's pretty good. Folk detective. Is it enough detectives to make a deck? 3, 4, 5, 6 for a blue-white. 6 detectives in a blue-white detective deck. That doesn't fill me with confidence. Detective Satchel. Investigate twice. Oh, you tap it to make a Thopter. Activate only if you sacrificed an artifact this turn. Isn't this absolutely fantastic? You just tap it and it makes a Thopter. You just have to have sacrificed basically a clue token. Yeah, I think that's got potential. I'm just going to add that to the deck, because this is a potential bomb, I would say. Something that just gives you ongoing value throughout the game. If they don't deal with it, it just takes over the game on its own. That's kind of my working definition of a bomb. I'm kind of going all over the place. I was just going to go by colour and look at all the white cards. But let's try and figure this out. Let's go back to keywords. Okay, this is a centaur soldier who dies and turns into a detective. Okay, right. Certainly interesting. I'm not feeling the detectives here. I think this is not enough. 3, 4, 5, 6 detectives. And then in blue-white, that is. Then you've got 1 in black, 1 in red, a couple in green. Troll detective, nice. Evidence. To collect evidence, 3. Exile cards with total mana value 3 or greater from your graveyard. I see. So on attack, he can do that. And then you get a +1/+1 token. Okay, so that's evidence. So suspect a creature. Suspect creature has menace and can't block. Person of interest makes a 2/2 detective. Okay, you get a couple of 2/2s. That's pretty good. Basilica Stalker. That's not bad. Vampire detective. We'll look at disguise. So you may cast this card face down for 3. That's a 2/2 creature with ward 2. Turn it face up any time for its disguise cost. So it costs 5 to turn face up. So in total, you're to play it as disguised and undisguise it. It's going to cost you 8 mana. Or you can just play it for 6 mana, as it is. Sometimes you just need a 2/2 creature to win, though. The Eavesdropper investigates. So yep, that's card advantage. Okay, gets +1/+1 against vigilance at the end of turn when you draw your second card. So you can become a 4/4 vigilance when you draw a card. That's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna select. I'm not gonna select all the detectives, but anything that seems good. Like this elephant just gives you card advantage because it's giving you a a clue token. Sample collector. I think he's okay. He can help you grow your creatures up. But I think I'm not... I don't think that's amazing. Person of interest does have menace. No, let's add the sample collector. I think building up your creatures it's a bit like evasion. You're kind of... Evasion is just pushing, pushing through extra damage, and if they don't have any good blocks against your big creature, it's a bit like having evasion. Person of interest, suspects have evasion, and this has evasion as well. Projektor Inspector gives you draw and discard. Yeah, okay. I'm probably gonna include every single card here. That's the way it's going. This can tap things down for when you do collect evidence 3. So that has this is crowd control. That's pretty useful, and it can untap things as well. It can untap Detective Satchel. Yeah, I think that's good. Forensic Gadgeteer is obviously fantastic. Jaded Analyst. Defender. If you draw a second card, he's a 3/2 Vigilance. I think just this guy's just an aggro card. I think we won't consider him yet. Burden of Proof is actually a pretty good removal card against non-detectives. It makes them 1/1. Museum Night Watch, bit expensive for a 3/2, but it turns into a 2/2 when it dies. So it's got value. It's got some value to it. Maybe it's all right. And then we go back to Case of the Pilfered Proof, which is boosting all the detectives, which might be just about playable, let's say. But that's the detectives looked at. The rest of the white cards, Due Diligence is an aura. I'm not very excited by auras like this, which are they just have their instant removal spell, and you you basically lose a 2-for-1. This is okay. When you cast this, you can get +2/+2 on a couple of things and vigilance. So that's quite powerful, but it's too risky for me. Makeshift Binding, exile a creature. Yeah, okay, good. That's just a nice removal card. Make your move. Destroy artifact, enchantment or creature with power 4 or greater. Yep, decent removal card. Probably hits a lot of things. I'd say maybe that's just about playable. On the job, creatures. Yeah, so this is for your go wide strategy. Boost everything and investigate. So it's giving you card advantage, but it's also just an expensive combat trick. So I'll leave this out because until I decide what I'm playing. Behind the Mask. As an additional cost, you can collect evidence 6. Huh. Until end of turn, target artifact or creature becomes an artifact or creature with base power and toughness 4/3. If evidence is collected, it has base power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn instead. I see what you're saying. This is a removal spell. If you do, if you collect evidence 6. Yeah, I think that might be okay. We'll think about that one. Okay, whenever this creature attacks, surveil 2. And you can sack it to draw a card. Clue equipment. I don't hate it. I think that's okay, but I think it's a bit like auras. I kind of skip. Equipment is at least better than aura, but it's something I'd probably skip most of the time. Fae Flight. Okay, it is a flash aura which gives you hexproof. So this is a nice creature protection spell. So it's almost the opposite of an aura. You can cast it and stop a removal spell. So I quite like this one. I think I'm going to consider that. There's the Jaded Analyst. We've got Reasonable Doubt. Counterspell unless they pay 2. And you can suspect up to 1 target creature. So you can get... It gives you some menace. Or removes a blocker. I'm not a big fan of counterspells. It's not that great, I think. But yeah, okay. Let's consider it. Let's consider it. Unauthorized Exit lets you bounce something and you can surveil for 1. Instant speed. There are token creatures in the game, so this kills token creatures. Yeah, it's a good card, I think. Show and Tell, very interesting card. Kind of a special case. You kind of need something really good to play out. I think I will leave it out for the moment until I decide if I'm playing Niv Mizzet, basically. Benthic Criminologists are merfolk wizards. Alright, when they enter the battlefield, you can sack an artifact and draw a card. So probably it's usually going to be a clue token, and so yeah, you get to activate that for free. And they're just big creatures, 4/5. They're chunky. I think they're not particularly good, honestly. I think we skip those. Living Conundrum, 2/5 hexproof. And if you draw a card while your library has no cards in it, skip that draw instead. I like that. So if you have managed to mill yourself down to 0 cards, you don't lose as long as you've got this. And it's got hexproof, so they need a board sweeper to kill it. Or maybe a creature with lure that has to be blocked, let's say. So that's very interesting. As long as there are no cards in your library, Living Conundrum has base power and toughness 10/10 and has flying and vigilance. So you probably win if you manage to remove your library from the game. And it's still going to be hexproof. You don't lose hexproof. Okay, that sounds fantastic. I definitely want to try Living Conundrum. Pretty good, but not that good. Clue equipment. Toxin analysis. Target creature gains death touch and lifelink till end of turn. Investigate. I like that. So it's very cheap. That's what a decent combat trick looks like to me. So I think I would go for that. Alley Assailant. Okay, when he's turned face up, target opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Nice. But it's 6 mana to do that. So that's direct damage. Direct damage is like evasion. That's my argument for Alley Assailant. I guess it's a 3/3 for 3 that comes into play tapped a lot of the time. Cerebral Confiscation. So target opponent discards 2, or reveal their hand and they choose a non-land. They discard it. So yeah, we've seen this card before. It's either 3 or 4 mana. I haven't seen getting the option to be a coercion, or I think it's a mind rot that makes you discard 2. So yeah, slight improvement on that. I'm not sure. I think I'd only play this if I'm a low to the ground aggro deck. If you're trying to play the late game, then a lot of the game your opponent probably doesn't have any cards to discard. So yeah, I don't think I want to play. I want to play that in every deck. Clandestine Meddler. You can suspect up to 1 other target creature you control, and you get to surveil 1. So this bestows evasion. So I think that is not bad. And we have 2 murders. Oh my god. Just the best removal card. Yes. So that suddenly black looks like a pretty strong colour. And we've got our really cool card draw spell, which let's just grab it. Outrageous Robbery is pretty insane. We'll take that. Let's have a look at these things. Macabre Reconstruction. 2 creature cards from graveyard to hand. Okay, you get 2 things back. Pretty good. Sometimes it only costs you 2 mana. I'm going to say that's pretty good. That's card advantage, card selection. Not bad at all. Soul Enervation, 4 mana enchantment, and it's got flash. Target creature gets -4/-4 till end of turn, so it's removal, so that's a win. And when creature cards leave my graveyard, I get a 1-point drain life. Well, that's just lovely. I think we definitely want that. Agency Coroner, 3/6 Ogre Cleric. Oh, if the sacrifice creature was suspected, draw 2 instead. And you can do that at instant speed. So this is sort of late game card draw. He's a nice big chunky blocker as well. I think yes to that one. Slice from the shadows. The spell can't be countered, and it's more removal. Target creature gets a -X till end of turn. Instant speed. Beautiful. Right. How much instant removal is that? think it's 4 instant removal and maybe 1 instant combat trick. Black looks pretty good. I'm not sure if there's that many black cards. Okay, 12. 12 is fine. I mean, our target is 23 cards. So, pair it up with something with 11 cards from something else. So, I think we're definitely looking good there. So that's black. Let's look at red. We've got a shock. So that's a good removal spell. 2 damage. Galvanize, 3 damage. Possibly 5 if we're drawing cards. Okay, good start. The red herring. A cluefish has to attack each combat if able. 2/2 haster for 2. Yeah, I mean it's an aggro card. It's an aggro card, but so we'll come back to that later. Case of the Burning Masks. Hits a creature for 3 damage. Love it. To solve 3 or more sources you controlled dealt damage this turn. Exile the top 3 of your library. Choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's removal, so that's good. Crime and Novelist gets stronger when he sacrifices artifacts. He is a 1/3 for 3 mana. So he's your growing threat. And you get 1 red mana as well. I like that. I think yes. Yes to Crime Novelist. The chase is on is just a combat trick. It does have that investigate tacked on, but it's still not enough to interest me. I don't like combat tricks. Right, Offender at Large. Giant Rogue. So when you turn it face up, you can get +2 power. Disguise is instant speed, because it says turn it face up anytime for its disguise cost. So these things are creatures that kind of come with combat tricks and things. But I don't think that card is very exciting. I think I skipped that one. Torch the Witness. Twice X damage to target creature. Alright. More removal. Well, I mean, if we play black and red, we have a lot of removal. Right, Gadget Technician. Another blue-red card. Makes a Thopter. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, it doesn't make it, so it always makes a Thopter, basically. Whether you play it without disguise or not. I think that's fine. Right, Thundering Force. Might come back to the lands. Well, we'll probably add the lands just because might use them. Shady Informant deals 2 damage to any target when it dies. If it dies when it's in disguise, does it still trigger? I think that's a good question. I think if it's face down, it probably doesn't. It doesn't have that rules text on there, so I don't think it does trigger. But yeah, 4/2 for 5 mana. Not that good. 4 mana to disguise, remove the disguise. It's pretty expensive, but it's still direct damage. Maybe it's okay. Let's try that. Tin Street Gossip. 4/4 Vigilance for 4. You can use mana to cast face down spells or turn creatures face up. Yeah, 4/4 Vigilance for 4, and it can give you mana as well. That seems good. Dog Walker. 3/1 Vigilance. When you turn it face up, you get 2 1/1 dogs. Oh, that's cool. That's, yeah, for a 2-drop. Or if you want, well, maybe a 4-drop that makes 3 creatures. That seems good. That's an army. Leyline of the Guild Pact we have not yet figured out if that's good. There's a reason to get all these things, so yeah, we may as well add Niv-Miz in now. On to green. Pick your poison. Each opponent sacrifice artifact, enchantment, creature with flying. Okay, so it is cheap. You'll probably find something to kill with that. Flyers are usually the problem. That's pretty playable, I think. Rope. Gives reach to a creature. I do like reach. I like stopping flyers. That is half the game in limited, really. Maybe rope is actually the best clue equipment, so I think add that one. Tunnel Tipster. Right, so this is a mole who gets bigger when you play face down creatures, and it can. It's a mana dork as well. Yeah, we like mana dorks. I think that's good. Airtight Alibi. Okay, Airtight Alibi, you get +2/+2 basically. And you can protect a creature with it. Give it hexproof. I think that's okay, but maybe 3 mana, a little bit expensive. You're going to keep 3 mana open every turn just to use your Airtight Alibi. I think it's a bit inconvenient, so it's probably not going to work too well. They went this way, search for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle and investigate. Yes, very good ramp card. A ramp card that actually draws you a card, basically, as well as putting a land straight into play. Good. Okay, so the Locked Hothouse is good. We've established. Rakish Scoundrel, Death Touch, 3/3. And for 6 mana, you can make something indestructible. Yeah, it's another kind of interesting combat trick style effect. A 6 mana combat trick. You never know. It could be the difference. But yeah, Death Touch is quite good. It's a 4 mana Death Touch, which maybe isn't very good, but sure. Let's take the Rakish Scoundrel. Crowd Control Warden. Okay, so big, very big creature, potentially. Yeah, why not? Just a ridiculously huge creature. Sure. Relive the past. Yep, that sounds fun. 3/5/5 creatures. Why not? Okay, Hedge Maze. Sure. Cease and Desist. So exile 2 cards from a graveyard. Target playing gains 2 life and draws a card. Okay. That's nice and cheap. Costs 2 mana. So it's like early game mana fixing, or early game card draw to try and draw into a land. Desist, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Wow. So, nice sweeper there. We've seen a few artifacts and enchantments. I'm not sure if it's that heavy, though. Most of the creatures are not artifacts or enchantments, so... but because of the cease part, I think that makes this worthwhile. We can look at artifacts now. Not very many, actually. Okay, Branch of Vitu-Ghazi. Oh, turn face up for 3 mana. Get 2 mana of any one colour. How interesting. It's mana fixing. It comes at attacks. That's very interesting. Not seen that style of mana fixing before with a disguise card. Scene of the crime. So you can tap a creature to add a mana of any colour. That's a nice take on that. It's an artifact land clue. So you can sack it for a card. Yeah, that's really good mana fixing. Sanitation Automaton. 2/1. Surveil 1 when it comes into play. So, yeah, not very exciting. Just, yeah, it's more artifact stuffing if you need artifacts in your deck. Magnifying Glass. Okay, a mana rock. And, oh, it is not just a mana rock, it is you can investigate. So this is basically a tome. It's basically 6 mana, draw a card. But it's also giving you mana. I think that's potentially very good. So I'm going to consider that. Magnetic Snuffler, 4/4 for 5 mana. You can get an equipment card back attached to the Snuffler. Oh, whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on the Snuffler. Okay, so it's expensive, but it gets bigger and bigger, and it can give you some value when it enters the battlefield. But yeah, it's probably, maybe it's too expensive for what it does. So if you need it, yeah, this is just like an extra big creature if you need it. I mean, as usual, I've just picked every card. So there's okay, I missed out a few. So Sanguine Savior. Let's have a look at this properly. That's a flying creature, so we like evasion. That's definitely good. So 2/1 flying lifelink, and it can get, if you can turn it face up and give something else lifelink. Okay, it's good. Blue-black, cost to kill. Enchantment Aura. You control enchanted creature. Oh wow. Enchanted creature has base power and toughness 1/1. Not so good. Has death touch and is an assassin in addition to its other types. Okay. That does seem pretty awesome. So they lose their best creature and you get a death toucher for 5 mana. And if they're pumping loads of tokens into their creatures, you're getting a big creature, a big death touch creature. So I think that's, I mean, I overlooked that one. That's pretty amazing. Let's add that. So there's probably not very many cards I actually left out. I probably added most of the cards. But these are the cards that all seem playable. We'll have a look here. I don't see very many. Well, we left out most of the aggro style creatures, so that's why we've not got very many 2-drops. But But we found 20 black cards, 17 blue, bit less white, red, green. I was thinking red-blue is good as well for the Detective Satchel. Does seem pretty crazy. But we also have 2 coerced to kills, so maybe blue-black is the way. I think I will just... There's a lot of red removal as well, but... we'll see what a blue-black deck looks like. Keep it simple. I just took out a good card. Always happens. I just took out all the blue cards. I wasn't paying attention yet. I want to keep all of these. Jaded Analyst. These are the detectives, of course. I suppose we don't need cease and desist that much. Maybe. We could play it, I suppose. Cut it. That leaves us with 44 cards. We don't have any particularly relevant lands. I wonder if we need these mana fixing things. Now this land is an extra creature. If you don't need a land, it's another 2/2 creature. So that's I'd call that a first pass. So the issues I'd say are we have no 2-drop creatures in this. We only have 10 creatures. So we'll look at blue-black and we'll think, right, we need some filler, some early creatures. So Jaded Analyst could go in, definitely. That is our yes, that's our only 2-drop creature. That doesn't seem very good. So we might think, what's a better color to pair up with black? I mean, the thing that's tempting me to play blue-black is Coerce to Kill. I suppose it's an expensive removal spell, but it seems pretty awesome. We could look at red, which has lots of other cheap removal spells to go with the black removal spells. Of course, it also has only 1 2-drop creature. Of course, we got there's black and white. These 2 Sanguine Saviors do seem excellent. They are 3-drops, but that might be pretty good. We don't actually we get nothing from white. White was the color that had nothing. Almost nothing. Green. So maybe there just aren't that many 2-drop creatures in this set. Maybe it is a slow set. Maybe there's one Tunnel Tipster here. I mean, let's just look at 2-drop creatures. in totality. Wow. So we might, yeah, the Dog Walker, I guess, is a good one. Sanitation Automaton. Maybe we have to play this just to have another 2-drop creature. So maybe the blue-black deck isn't that bad an idea. Just I've got sort of some removal there, and I get this. I get to play some cool things like Forensic Gadgeteer, and of course to kill. Oh, and the Living Conundrum. Yeah, that's a big selling point, I think. Yeah, anyway, that's a good first pass, I was going to say. So I'll call that end of part 1, and I'll have a bit of a think about this, clearly, with it being a brand new set. I might need a little longer to make a deck. But thanks for watching so far. Okay, and I'm back. So we're sticking with a blue-black deck. I think I wanted to add Detective Satchel. This sort of jumped out at me as being quite a good card. And it's quite a nice combination with our Agency Coroner. So he can sacrifice the Thopter to draw a card, and then you can tap the Satchel to make a new Thopter. So it's basically pay 3 mana, draw a card. So with that combination, which I guess it's okay. It's not the most amazing combination. But we've got quite a bit of card draw. We've got some surveil effects. There is a chance we could run out of cards, and then we've the answer to that. We have Living Conundrum, which will become a 10/10 flying vigilance if we run out of cards, and we won't lose the game. So that's quite an interesting thing. We can always, if it gets milled off the top, we can bring it back with Macabre Reconstruction. Otherwise, we've got quite a bit of black removal, a few flyers, a few detectives, and some artifacts as well. I've kind of added these artifacts because I realise Forensic Gadgeteer needs a bunch of artifacts, so we can actually cast. We can get clue tokens when we cast our artifacts. So it seems to make sense. So that's the reasoning there. So we'll see how we get on with this. We'll just go for it. I think the other deck maybe I could go for would have been a green-based deck with ramp, and that's probably the deck that could have fielded Niv Mizzet. I think there's a bit more sort of land fixing in that, so you could maybe cast Niv Mizzet slightly more with slightly more chance. Okay, Islands and Swamps. We've got a 3-drop. Can't cast that. 5-drop. And a removal spell. I think I keep this. I don't think it's the best opening hand. What I'll be very curious about is if my opponents have lots of 2-drops and just consistently play them out and overrun me. Because I just did not get... I got 1 2-drop in each colour, pretty much. It would seem a bit strange if there weren't lots of 2-drops in a Magic set. But my opponent did not play a 2-drop. Okay. Well, the plot thickens. Projektor Inspector. This will be a draw and discard kind of deal. Scene of the... Oh, has he got a counter spell? He's got the Reasonable Doubt counter spell. Of course he does. That's... I walked straight into that one. And we're a little bit laggy today, I think. Crime Stopper Sprite. What's the deal here? You can collect evidence 6. And you can stun things, okay. I see he just tapped himself when he came into play. Alright. Fair enough. We need to tap a creature to get our red mana for Detective Satchel, so we're out of luck there. Maybe I will just slice his 2/2 flyer. It's probably going to do me a lot of damage if I don't do anything about it. X equals 2, and it's gone. And I could have done that on his turn. Don't know why I didn't, but well, he might have an instant that makes it a 4/3, I suppose. And I'll play a lead pipe. And it has a sound effect. Love it. Okay, he had a follow-up. So 3/1 flyer. Great. And when he that's insane. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, that comes back to your hand from the graveyard. So pretty nice opening from this deck. So also a blue-black deck. Now we just managed to draw the Forensic Gadgeteer, so he sort of kicking myself that I didn't hold on to the lead pipe. There we go. Never mind. And he has he has rolled out into a 5-drop. Okay, you can sacrifice an artifact or creature and get rid of something. So probably the Gadgeteer is disappearing. I'd keep the flyer maybe. No, you're going to lose. Oh, of course, you keep the flyer because it comes back. He's already got a brilliant combo. Wonderful. Oh dear, I'm going to have to mute you. Did I actually make a mistake there? No. Oh, I could have sacrificed lead pipe to draw a card. Yeah, that's true. Forensic Researcher. I could have made him lose 1 life by equipping the lead pipe back on my turn, of course. Okay, Forensic Researcher, it can come out. But it's one of these games where he has removal for every single creature I have. Confession. Yep, he does have exactly that. Sure. Okay, so sacrifice a creature. Yeah. So that is counterspell, extract a confession, and Undercity Eliminator as well. We've drawn a murder. So I think he's playing counterspells. We do this on our turn now and take out a 3/3. We're just trying to protect our life total here. I'm not going to do any tricks. Okay, Outrageous Robbery. Or we could sacrifice Lead Pipe. Let's try and draw a land. I think sacrifice the Lead Pipe. Seems good. So you should have done that earlier when I had when it was 1 mana to do that. The equipment is not doing much for me without creatures. He has more creatures. Collect evidence for... Can make a Thopter. This guy lets him draw and discard. That was the deal there. Okay. Okay, cool. So he has 2 mana left. Let's think about these cards I've got. This could actually protect a creature in theory. Okay, so we can take 2 power off the battlefield with Burden of Proof. We're looking at 7 damage next turn, so we're dying very quickly. We could Outrageous Robbery at the end of his turn. We might steal a land off the top of his deck. But yeah, we got pretty stuck with these 3 cards. Couldn't play any of them. Bricked on 4 land. Couldn't keep a creature alive to cast the Detective Satchel. So pretty tragic. I think I'm gonna take 7 damage. And I'm going to do a 2-point Outrageous Robbery. Oh, he's got his own Forensic Gadgeteer, so not only does he have removal for every single creature I play, he has an army of 3 creatures. But of course he's got this thing going, so he's drawing and discarding, so he's probably discarded a couple of land, so it's kind of put him a couple of cards ahead. Not that well, I've still got 6 cards in hand, so he's empties his hand basically. Okay, that's nice. So Curious Inquiry lets you just do that. That's going to be 8 damage. We've got to decide what the better thing to do here is. Base power and toughness 1/1. So it's only taking 2 power off actually. Yeah. So we're taking 8. We could reduce it to 6. Never mind. I think we'll let that through. We need to do some heroics to actually survive next turn. But I don't want to cast my Outrageous Robbery card. See if it works like the way I think it ought to work. We got a swamp off the top. Alright. And I guess the problem is... yeah, we're taking a little bit too much damage. Steam Core Scholar. Wow, what a great rare I just stole. So... Burden of Proof can take 2 power off. This is a blocker. Yeah, if I coerce to kill, let's say, this one, then 4 damage gets through. So that doesn't work. I want to try the Steam Core Scholar, that seems fun. Oh, we have an Unauthorized Exit as well, that's quite cool. Let's keep the Unauthorized Exit and discard something else, like Fae Flight's probably not going to do the trick. We don't have time to play the Snuffler, so we'll discard those 2. We have an Unauthorized Exit, so we can bounce something, block something, probably still take 3 damage and die. Yeah, never mind. Yep, he has Coerce to Kill as well. Seems like a good card. Okay, well, he gets to do something cool here. Okay. 2 creature cards from graveyard onto the battlefield. Okay, nice. So these gets to have those back. And these get to trigger again. I think this guy might have had a slightly better sealed pool than me for blue-black. It feels like. Okay, well, we can... I just threw away my thing that gives hexproof. That's annoying. Okay, cool. It's dead. Okay, we bounce this one. Oh wait, we don't bounce it. Sorry, that is not the bounce spell. There we go. So we can stop 4 damage. An Alley Assailant on top. It's probably not very good for at the moment. So my opponent didn't miss an important land drop. Just had a perfect rollout, counter spell turn 2, 3 drop on 3, 4 drop on 4, 5 drop on 5, and had removal for all my creatures. One of his 5-drop creature was a come into play effect removal creature, which he could then recycle later because he sacrificed himself. So card quality is the issue there, and also bricking on 4 mana was an issue there. Maybe our deck is not good. Well, I think I'm going to keep playing with this one. I'm not going to panic and change the deck. I don't think I really have time to change the deck. I have much less time to play these days, unfortunately. So I will eat the 0/3 if it's that bad a deck. It's a 2-land hand. 3 drop, 3 drop, 3 drop, 3 drop. We have a Candlestick we can sacrifice for a card. We're going second, we're drawing an extra card. We'll see if we're okay. Good, no 1-drop haster. That's a relief. We play a Scene of Crime. Yeah, he does have the aggressive 2-drop, of course. Red herring. Ouch. This thing does not tap for blue unless I have a creature. So that's a problem. I can't play my Candlestick and sacrifice it. So I think I am stuffed once again against, looks like, an aggressive opponent who has a rollout. We've just not drawn land the first two draws, so did he draw another land? Oh, basic land cycling. Nice. We like that card. Oh my god. I'd like a few of those, please. So he gets his land. He doesn't miss his land drop. Will I miss my land drop? Yes. Yes, I will. I will miss my land drop. But I think, yeah, the only my miscalculation in the opening hand is realizing, was thinking I could play Candlestick when I couldn't. I need a creature out for this to actually work. So this one's not happening, I think. The 5 mana card, we'll drop that. Shuffler's fine. Seems a very appropriate name right now. 4/2. Oh, that's a lovely aggressive creature. Hexproof on your turn. Can't be blocked by creatures that don't have a name. I like that. Creatures that don't have a name. So, like, if they've got a Forensic Gadgeteer is like a description. I wonder if they've had to go through every card and tell it whether what constitutes a name or not. Oh, good. No land. Loving it. So Outrageous Robbery, I think, is not going to be featuring, because I need double black for that. We're just going to need to chuck. If we can actually hit a land, we're just going to need to chuck out creatures just to block and try and survive. Okay. Face down card. The first face down card. It's very exciting. Okay, my turn. Will I actually get to play any cards? Maybe I will. I have an island. Okay. I think we're on sort of chomp blocking territory. This will be a 3/3 that can actually take out a 2/2. That's kind of an important note. Forensic Gadgeteer is a 2/3 that can take out a 2/2, so I'm sure he's got removal, but we can give this a shot. Or a combat trick. It's a shock to the face. Okay. Oh, I'm on 6 life. Yeah, because he had another shock. He has 2 shocks. Of course he does. So he just has lethal. After I play my first creature on not turn 3, it was a little bit, yeah, 14 cards down. So it's about. No, 12 cards down. Turn 5 took me to get line number 3. So yep, I'm dead. Shuffler is indeed fine. So yes, we'd have to remember how our land fixing lands work. So that one is not working out very well for me because I have not kept a creature alive. It's literally the only time I've had a creature alive is the same turn I've been killed. So that's fun. 0-2. Let's keep going. It'll be a nice quick evening. I can go to bed early. That's the good news here. Marcus Aurelius. Yeah, I need the teachings of Marcus Aurelius at this moment, I think. We have another 2-land hand. Oh, good. We've got a tap land. It's giving us blue mana. You get to surveil. We might find the black mana we need. We might do. Okay, we actually have a 2-drop creature, one of the very few. So much for this being a. I was hoping this would be a slow format, but because I had so many 3-drops. Okay, that's probably not going to help us. Let's get rid of that. So if I draw a second card, this can attack. Oh, we actually draw a swamp. Well, that's suddenly we're in business, I would say. So. This one gets countered. No. So I think we might do Forensic Gadgeteer into Magnifying Glass. Let's see if we can get away with that. What? Second Steam Core Scholar? That's fair enough. Okay, well, this just has to be a colorless land. That's fine. We have, yeah, Forensic Gadgeteer. That's what we're trying to do. I'm sure he will die immediately. That's been the rule so far. I don't get to have anything nice. So much for playing for the long game with Living Conundrum. We're never going to get beyond turn 7, it looks like. So this guy has hustle and bustle. Okay, nice. Pretty cool. Yeah, he's not long for this world, is he? Oh no, face down card. Alright. Okay. It's not a land. We can play a Magnifying Glass. Investigate, and then we can actually pop the clue because it only costs 1. As we have learnt. We might even draw something. Okay, that's fine. You attack with Vigilance. What about you, Forensic Gadgeteer? I think you stay back. Yeah, we did draw a land, but... So we miss another land drop. But who's counting? See, other people have 2/2s for 2. They do exist. Oh, great! I get to take 2 damage every time I sacrifice an artifact. So he's got the perfect hoser for my entire deck. Lovely. Oh, right. Yes, the Gadget Technician makes a 1/1 flyer. Cool. So, yeah, we get to just die when we unveil our clues. Four mana. I think we just have to die. I think we just have to draw the cards to try and draw into a freaking land. There's a land. Okay, land on top. We will have to take 2 damage. Love being punished for being mana screwed. It's just great. Lead pipe. Okay, we can take another 2 damage and sacrifice that if we want. Sounds like fun, right? Jaded Analyst can attack, I think. So we are no longer mana screwed, but we're being punished. Six mana to disguise these guys. Okay, makeshift binding, something's dead. That guy's gone, okay. He wants me to keep making clue tokens so I gradually die. And honestly, I think the best policy here is sacrifice the clue, draw another card, try and get another land. I think it's worth the 2 life. And it's just funny to me that he has the perfect hoser. It's just incredible, really. Okay, well that one wasn't a land, maybe the next one will be. Okay, Soul Enervation. He has enough for a counter spell, so what you and this is a flash spell. What you're supposed to do is cast this on the upkeep, so if they do counter spell you, they're at least tapping some of their mana. So that's the plan. We don't have any more artifacts, so I think that might be okay. So a decent result. We drew into removal. I'm going to go for survival rather than killing his hoser. Dronesmith, so making more Thopters. Okay, it's a 1/1 haster that gets sacrificed every turn, so that's pretty horrendous for me. Get a creature out of my graveyard, I can start life draining him. Okay, this can tap things down by collecting evidence. That's pretty interesting. Evidence can remove creatures from a graveyard. Well, I only have 1. Okay. It's not going to be quite as powerful as I hoped. We want to start putting these guys face down, I suppose. Still can't seem to draw as much land as we want. I think we'll try this one. We need to flip him. We need another land, unfortunately. I guess we might have to sacrifice the lead pipe as well. Take 2, so we can drain him for 3. And then we're up on the deal by 1 life point. So the Forensic Researcher, I'll get to tap something. So tap a Thopter to stop 1 damage, collect evidence, and gain 1 life from removing this guy. I think this is the better play because I might top deck a an untapped land and get 3 life. I wonder if I actually completely screwed up on the land count, because it 3 games in a row getting mana screwed, stuck on 4 land with an expensive deck. Just it feels like it might be a me problem. I must have done something wrong. I did mess with the lands a bit. I took something out. I might have taken 1 land out too many. It might be 16 land. Hard to check afterwards. So, here's the dilemma. Do we go down to 3 life to draw an extra land to try and get the 6th land that we need to turn this guy face up? Just because drawing 2 cards is going to be better than 1 card. It's pain. It hurt. Well, it's going to hurt, but maybe it'll work. He's got troubles. Yeah. He could attack with all these. No, I'm going to do it because it's just so ridiculous. I have to do this and take 2 damage just to try and fix my mana problems. Okay, interesting. So that's Fae Flight. That's flash speed flying. That's helpful. So I'll see if he might have 3 direct damage, of course, but I mean he deserves to win if he does. He's playing red, so I've played into that, but there's not. I just don't see a way of avoiding that. We actually draw a land, which is an incredible thing. So we can gain 3 life. We're gonna go down to 1. We can go back up to 4. That's one option. But I could also play another assailant face down, which we'll need to do, and I'll have mana for the Fae Flight to block one of the creatures. So then I'll only go down to 2. But shock is in this set, so he might literally have a shock. That is the problem. So I think I will go for the 3-point drain life. That seems reasonable to me. And we just better check the disguise to make sure it works. Yeah, it should work. How much damage has Vengeful Tracker done? I think it's either 4 or 6 damage. Oh yeah, he's under the makeshift binding. think there's a point of order here. If I don't flip now, I'll be on 1 life. So if I want to flip it, if I flip at end of turn, he can shock in response and kill me. I think I've got to flip now to be safer. He might have 3 instant speed damage, of course, but there's not much I can do about that. So enters the battlefield tapped, but he is untapped because he came in. He was already on the battlefield as a disguised creature. So that's an interesting thing. Okay, I'm liking this. A bit more land to play with. We definitely want to do that again, so we're going to play Alley Assailant face down. We can hold up mana for Fae Flight. Or do something else. I think we'll hold up the mana for the Fae Flight and we'll try and bag a 1/1. So here, if he has the shock and maybe instant speed removal as well, the creature I give flying to, then he wins. Could do it on the warded creature. It would just cost him more mana to kill that. He's got 9 mana. It's very unlikely to matter. But also he could kill that and take away my drain life. So I think we'll do it on the Alley Assailant, just make the biggest flying creature we can, and then if that somehow survives, it's a threat for him later to deal with. Hexproof till end of turn, right? Now's the time to kill him. Can you kill him? Oh, interesting. Block that one, the one that doesn't die at end of turn. Okay, my turn. Another land, right. We have 8 mana. But I still want to flip this thing. I could stay back to block. I might just have to stay back to block. Yeah, play this safest possible line, assuming he's got shock or something in his hand. Because... yeah, let me count that again. 4, 7, 8 mana. Yeah, I can't do anything with 2 mana. So I'm going to do nothing. And I'm not even going to attack. Because I've got a pretty good flying creature there, but I don't think I can afford to go down to 2 life. Ah, and they can kill it. Okay. Yeah, No defense to that. What I'm forgetting, Magnifying Glass can investigate. Never mind. Probably a good thing. But at least I kept the mana open. Oh dear, this looks bad. Alright. Okay, you get something from a graveyard for free, so you can get an Alley Assailant. Basilica Stalker would probably be bad. Okay. Well, that does not seem good. What else can you get? Murder, Macabre Reconstruction. Okay, at least this is a game of Magic. But I think he's got the winner there. Oh. Oh, smart. Yeah, no. Do that, and then you've got 5 flying damage. Yeah, that makes sense. And again, it's a game of limited, where it's just all come down to having flyers or not. Okie doke, we'll turn that face up, so might survive on 1 life, we'll see. Okay, we've got a bounce spell, but we're also on 1 life, and I think we die, unfortunately, to the 1/1 flyer. If I can somehow get a creature out of my graveyard, I would gain 1 life. But I don't have the Forensic Researcher in play yet. Let's go to combat. That's just... Okay, right, this guy comes into play. We draw and discard. So I think that is a possibility. Let's try that. Can we find something? Can find another Projektor Inspector. Okay. Think... Give up on the Agency Coroner at the moment. We can do another of these. Please tap this for mana. And but there's also Outrageous Robbery for 1 card, and just try and top deck something from his deck that might win. Yeah, take action. Oh, we draw a lot of cards, actually. That's a good point. Yeah. Okay, let's forget Living Conundrum. Okay. Scene of the crime, burden of proof. Wait a minute. No, he can block my stuff. That's the important thing. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna discard that. I can actually play that, but it's tapped, I think. I I don't have an attack phase. I skip my attack phase. Maybe I could persuade him to block with a drone smith, but too late. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to work. Unauthorized exit to take out the big flyer, but we just die to the Thopter. Harry Dronesmith wins it for him. Candlestick's not going to do much good. You kind of wonder if I could have got that collect evidence creature out, but didn't seem like there was much opportunity there. So at least we had one reasonable game of Magic out of the three. 0-3. Well, I've started a few new sets like this. It's not a new experience. Did we mess up our lands completely? Oh yes. I can't believe I did that. So I've only got 12 land. Okay, little bit of a boo-boo with the land count. That explains a lot. Okay, how did that happen? I think, yeah, I added a bunch of land. I took a bunch of land out, and I went, oh, I'm on 39 cards. Yeah, I somehow just took out 5 land and didn't add any more land. Anyway, we've got an example of what happens when you have 12 land in your deck and you've got an expensive deck. Yeah, well, I'm definitely feeling the effects of just not spending much time making the deck and playing too quickly. I would usually catch something like this as it is. That's absolutely an outrageously low number of lands. But that will teach me for messing about with my lands and not double checking them. But okay, so mystery over. The mystery of Karlov Manor has been solved. I somehow took 5 lands out of my deck, which I should not have done. Oh my god. I took the lead pipe to my own deck, basically. So that was actually a simple one. That's a simple explanation. What a great start to get off to. Okay, we get 200 gems and 3 packs. Oh, because it's sealed, isn't it? Nice. Well, hopefully we'll have. Next time I'll try and play with 17 land, and we'll do a bit better. Anyway, I think that is a video. Thanks for watching.